ではまずパーティクルのレビューから始めましょう。To mark the destination of a trip, what particle do you use? Remember? With verbs such as 行きます、来ます、帰ります、we use に or you can also use え、the spelling is irregular. You use the letter へ and we pronounce it え。For example, うちに帰ります。Next, to make the place of an activity where you do this something, what particle do you use? For example, the verb 寝ます or 勉強します。Yes, it's で。For example, ベッドで寝ます。So で marks the place of the activity. 図書館で勉強します。To mark the object of the verb, for example, with verbs like 食べます、見ます、飲みます。What do you eat? You use お、バナナを食べます。Next, to mark the means of transport. Do you remember this one? For example, with the verbs 行きます、来ます、帰ります。Not the destination, but how you get there. It's で、for example, 車で行きます。バスで帰ります。So today we are going to talk about the combination of particles with も and は。Do you remember も? For example, 私はオーストラリア人です。ジョンさんもオーストラリア人です。So も replaces は and adds the meaning of also. Another example, 今日はテストがあります。明日もテストがあります。So tomorrow again, or tomorrow also has a test. Now let's look at examples that uses に and も together. The first one just with に。ラボにコンピューターがあります。There are computers in the lab. 図書館にもコンピューターがあります。You still need the particle of the location. 図書館に something があります。図書館に and to add the meaning of also, you add も but this time も does not replace the original particle にyou use both に and も図書館にもコンピューターがあります。10時にコーヒーを飲みます。I drink coffee at 10. 3時にもコーヒーを飲みます。At 3 o'clock as well. Also at 3 o'clock, I drink coffee. 3時にもコーヒーを飲みます。Now let's look at で and も together. The first one, just with で。うちで勉強します。I study at home. 図書館でも勉強します。Also at the library, I study. 図書館でも。So you need to keep で to mark the place and add もto add the meaning of also. うちで寝ます。I sleep at home. バスでも寝ます。On the bus as well, I sleep. バスでも。Now, this time, let's look at examples of で and は。So remember, は marks the topic of the sentence. In other words, focus of the sentence. For example, the first sentence, 昨日は talking about yesterday. So you are putting a focus on this time, yesterday. 図書館で勉強しました。Yesterday, I studied at the library. If you just want to say, I studied at the library, yesterday. So yesterday is not on focus. You can drop this は昨日図書館で勉強しました。Let's look at another next example. 昨日は図書館に行きました。Again, the focus is this time talking about yesterday. 図書館では talking about the library. Talking about at the library. 勉強しました。The now focus is shifted to 図書館. From the time to the place. 図書館では勉強しました。At the library, I studied. The next one is に and は。昨日は図書館に行きました。Again, the focus is this time, yesterday. 大学には行きませんでした。So this one is rather a contrast. 大学には talking about university, I didn't go. 図書館に行きました。大学には行きませんでした。Comparing these two. And by using the focus は you can make a contrast. The next one. 椅子の下には猫がいます。Look at the under the chair. There is a cat. 椅子の上にも on the chair as well, there is a cat. 椅子の上にも猫がいます。椅子の下には so now the focus is this location. And if you drop は椅子の下に猫がいます。You just draw attention to what's in this location. What's there? Attention to the cat. 椅子の下に猫がいます。Look, there's a cat under the chair. If you use は you put more focus on this location. But the difference is quite subtle. So you at this stage you don't have to be able to use the two patterns. 椅子の下に猫がいます。椅子の下には猫がいます。We don't expect you to differentiate these two, but when you see this type of sentence, 椅子の下には猫がいます。I want you to know that this は is a focus put on this part. And another example. 友達のうちにプールがあります。うちにはありません。Again, making a contrast. 友達のうち and うち my home. 私はバスで本を読みます。うちでは読みません。バスでうちでは読みません。Making a contrast here. Now let's look at the difference between は and が. More explanations and examples are found in these pages. 194ページ、195ページを見てください。Now let's talk about は first. When you talk about something to make the topic clear, use は. For example, 私は I'm talking about myself. I'm introducing myself. I'm introducing me as a topic of my sentence. 私は学生です。私の部屋はきれいです。私の部屋はきれいです。So you are introducing the topic so that your listener knows what you are talking about. And then you give the information after that. For example, when you ask questions, you usually use は. So first, with yes-no question, you just add か after the statement. Topic は Is this correct? So I'm talking about Tanaka-san. My information here is this person is a student. Is this correct? So 田中さんは学生ですか？先生は I want to know about 先生。部屋にいますか？ Is she in the room? And the same for a question word question. First you introduce the topic followed by は。出身は I'm talking about your hometown followed by the question word どこですか？ 先生は I want to know about my teacher. どこにいますか Where is she? And this is the basic pattern. Topic は question word, verb, and question marker か。日本語の先生は I want to know about Japanese teacher. 誰 who ですか is it? 電話は I want to know about a phone. どこにありますか The verb is あります exist. Where exist? Where is the phone? これは you're pointing to something. This, I want to know about this. どんな本ですか What kind of book is this? The topic は question, verb and か So this is the basic pattern. But sometimes you have to use が、let's first look at the statement without question. When you want to draw someone's attention to new information, for example, you noticed that there's a cat, and this is something quite new to you and to your friend, then you use this が。あそこに猫がいます。猫が look あそこに猫がいます。And next, let's look at question sentence. When you use a question word and that's the subject of the sentence, you have to use が. Grammatically, question words cannot take は。あそこに何がありますか What's there? And in this case, you don't have topic you really want to introduce. So, 何 What is what you want to know. So there is nothing followed by は and because you want to know about this 何 What you use が instead of は。あそこに何がありますか What's there? 時計があります。To answer this type of question, you always use が。So it's more grammatical rules rather than meaning. So this one, it's more like meaning or focus, where your attention is. For question with が, it's more grammatical rules. With a question word, instead of は, you use が. And to answer this type of question with が, you use が. Questions with が, for example, どれがいいですか Which one do you like? ホテルは So this one you have a topic. ホテルは talking about hotels. どこがいいですか Which one is good? うちに誰がいますか At home. Who's there? そこに There. 何がありますか What exists? What's there? These are more examples. Yes, no questions. You use は。木村さんは学生ですかそこにリーさんはいますか In the textbooks, you sometimes see this type of question with が。そこにリーさんがいますか When you assume yes answer, you sometimes use が。But at this stage, you don't have to worry about this. And when you answer a question with negative ending, so when the answer is no, you always use は。いいえ、リーさんはいません。And question with question words, リーさんは so to introduce the topic, you use は and どこにいますか And when the question word is the subject, you use がそこに誰がいますか If you feel like using は with the question word, then change it to が Who's there? Let's see if you can use は and が correctly. 木村さん、学生ですか 木村さん which one do you use? 木村さんは学生ですか？そこにリーさん is Lee there? リーさんはいますか？ A negative answer. いいえ、リーさんはいません。The question with リーさんどこにいますか？ Where is リーさん What do you use here? リーさんはどこにいますか？そこに誰 With a question word, you use が。そこに誰がいますか？ Now, let's practice writing questions. Number 1. You want to know if Midori, the name of a girl, Midori is at home. What do you say? How do you form a question? You want to know if Midori is at home. So you want to know about Midori. So you start your question with Midori-san wa followed by うちにいますか？Midori-san wa うちにいますか？ The next one, you want to know what's on the desk. And you draw your attention to the position first. And 何がありますか？机の上に何がありますか？ And at a store, you want to ask these questions. You want to ask if they have bags. You want to ask where beds are. So the first one, you want to ask if they have bags. So the topic is bags. You want to know about カバン。カバンはありますか？ Do you have bags here? カバンはありますか？ And you want to know, the next one, you want to know where the beds are. ベッドはどこですか？ So here we didn't use が at all. So this is the end of part 1, lecture 10.